Sportscast live here on a Thursday.
Special post-game 7 edition.
Seriously, back here after 2 weeks off. You know, just like the NFL knock, we got to have our bye week.
Got to have a bye week.
Right.
Yeah. And we are realists. Probably not a smart idea to try and put a show together with Game 7 going on.
There's not going to be much attention being paid.
I mean, we do get just a few live listeners anyway.
Yeah.
And I canceled them out.
Yeah, exactly.
I may as well talk to the wall.
God, what a game last night. Actually, what a boring game it ended up kind of being. I mean, I thought
very anticlimactic to the whole series. The series was unbelievable.
Congratulations to the Houston Astros nonetheless, though. A great series. One of the best series I've ever seen, Knocker. I know you've watched a lot of baseball in your day, as have I.
Yeah, there's a few to compare,
myself,
but yeah, it's right there.
That's right up there, top 5 World Series ever for me. I mean, that's pretty, not to say, I mean, I did go to Game 1, which was absolutely fantastic. It was hot as shit. It was like 102, but Game 1 at Dodger Stadium was a sight to be seen. There was history there. I saw Kershaw strike out 11. And the Dodgers win. Leadoff home run by Chris Taylor. Turner's only home run and seamer hit of the whole series was in that game. That 2-run home run he hit. But, yeah, Naka, a series that had its ups and downs, some good games, some crazy games. That Game 5, might go up there as one of the best in history as far as going back and forth, the number of home runs that did happen. But your overall thoughts here on the World Series, Knock, before we get into anything else here, I want to cover that because it did just happen, and by the time people podcast this, it might be a few days old, so let's just cover that here, Knocker. The Astros end up taking down the Dodgers in 7 games. It looked like the Dodgers might have it after winning Game 6 here, Knocker, coming into Game 7, but the Astros pull it out, and here's the call by Joe Buck here, the last out of the game.
He's going to be part of the Yankees' success. Traded over here because of the Sanchez success. Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
And Knock, they did it in the first ever World Series for the Astros.
No. They were in 2005.
No, I'm saying first ever win.
First ever win,
ever win further in franchise history for the Houston Astros here. Just an unbelievable sight to see. You had Springer winning the MVP, hitting 5 home runs, Knocker, in the game. And, or not in the game, sorry, for the series.
Right.
Tying, I think, Reggie Jackson for the most home runs in a World Series.
And Chase Utley.
That is correct. With the Phillies, he did it, right? Is that? I'm
yes.
Sure and, Knock, a couple things here. I've got a couple rants here, a couple things I want to get off my chest as far as baseball go. I want to say, first of all, that the Dodgers lost not just because Dave Roberts is a crappy manager and that Yu Darvish really, really sucks and wasn't worth it, but I have to blame these 4 bitches for the loss of the Dodgers.
Why not?
And if you aren't watching the show, as a lot of podcasters do, the Kardashians are the main reason for the Dodgers losing. Knock, look at them.
Had nothing to do with the fact
Before
nobody
the
could
game,
hit, right?
Not the fact. Look at these. This is the Kardashian curse. It happens in basketball.
Why are they out there? Who
I don't
the hell
understand.
cares? Why? I'm
Stupid.
flabbergasted. But yes, they brought the curse of the Kardashians with them.
God damn it, Knocker. Not only that, it hurt for the Dodgers, but it hurt worse for Yasiel Puig, who ended up getting his house robbed, Knocker.
Again,
but a different house this time.
Check your friends, Yasiel.
Yes,
this is inside stuff.
No joke, man.
Not random.
Dude, get some friends that are better because it's just...
Yeah, well, this time they said only $150 worth of stuff. The first one was $150,000 in Rolex. Yeah, he rolling with the wrong group, man.
I'm telling you, B-Knock, he needs to get some new buddies. That has to be an inside job. There's no way around it that it's not someone that he knows that's giving information away about, hey, this is where he lives. Yeah, the alarm did go off and the window was broken, so...
Still.
Man, Knockers, just bad.
Just too. I don't believe in like coincidence and like randomness in that. Somebody knows something.
Now back to Dave Roberts.
Okay.
This guy who doesn't know how to manage a baseball game. First of all, Knocker, I do not understand how Kershaw, who was able to go, did he go 4 or 5 innings last night?
4 innings.
4 innings. I think he gave up 2 hits, no runs. Was able to do that, but wasn't able to start the game. Please explain to me how that happened.
It's all of baseball dynamics. Baseball doesn't work the way it used to work when the heyday, in my opinion, of baseball was. Koufax won Game 7 on 2 days rest, pitched damn shutout. But they used to do that back then. Your ace was going to pitch 3 games in the World Series. That's all there was to it. He was going to pitch Game 1, he was going to pitch Game 4, and he was going to pitch Game 7. That's all there was to it, even if you had to pitch Game 5. Because they only had 3 days rest. They back then, 3 days rest, different format, 2-1-1-1, the whole 9 yards. But just the velocity and the analytics that go in today's game prevent that type of mentality. Yes, Walter Alston would have started Kershaw. There would have been no doubt about it. The Cardinals would have started Bob Gibson.
Right.
Even up to the big unit. Big unit would have started that game. All there is to it.
Curt Schilling would have started
Right?
that game.
Absolutely. So, but it's just the whole mentality of baseball today is so reliant on statistics and matchups and analytics and this crap and that crap instead of just gut feeling and playing with your balls hanging out. And they don't do that anymore. And that's, to me, one of the biggest dynamics in the problem with that happening.
The problem with me is that I don't understand. Okay, you start Yu Darvish. Okay, maybe I can get over that fact, okay? How does Yu Darvish come back out for the second inning? I don't understand that.
I'll tell you.
What?
It's not as cut and dry as you think. It
is cut and dry.
If you take the emotion out of what happened, okay? The Dodgers, the bullpen's used up, all right? You're going into this game, but everybody is available. I get that, okay? If you can get a couple innings out of this guy, it just sets everything else up for a little later. In retrospect, I might have started Wood as opposed to Darvish because he's totally unfamiliar to the Astros lineup, and they've seen Darvish all year long.
Okay.
Right? But my point is this. The double that Springer hit was barely fair. Barely got down inside. Just you want me to you want my opinion or you don't? Because you're gonna sit there and shake your head. Everything I say, just listen to what I say and see if it makes sense.
Better than me talking and interrupting you.
True.
I can shake my head.
You can. Okay. Now what happened the rest of the inning? Okay, think about it. Ground ball to Bellinger and he fucks it up. That's not Darvish's fault. That ball was not hit hard. Bellinger made a shitty play. Puts the pitcher in a friggin' hole. The rest of the inning is Houston doing what Houston's supposed to do. They hit ground balls, Josh. They hit ground balls. And they scored 2 runs because of an error and a double. He got out of it. Fine.
Did he not get beat up in Game 3?
No, he did. He had nothing. But he wasn't getting beat up. They hit ground balls.
That was a pretty hard ground ball double.
The first one.
Yeah.
But it's barely fair, okay? He gave up a leadoff double.
You're talking about...
You're acting like he got his ass kicked. And I'm trying to tell you he didn't get his ass kicked. So he comes out the second inning, right? Gets into a situation where the slowest guy they have... Now, leadoff walk is killer. The slowest guy on the Houston Astros is sitting at third base, and the pitcher is up, right? No damage is done yet. What does Roberts do? He plays his infield at medium depth. Foolish with the pitcher up and a slow guy on third. You play your infield in. He's still not giving up any hits. He's given up the 1 double, but everything's been ground balls.
And a walk.
Okay, but
he's just not on.
I get you.
Isn't there a feeling?
But you asked why
baseball?
He came out for the second inning. He came out for the second inning because they didn't hit him hard. They had an error and 3 ground balls. They scored 2 runs. Okay, we're good.
Do you think Roberts knew that Kershaw was good enough to go 4 innings like he did? Do you think he knew that before? Or do you think, Kershaw came out after throwing 2 innings?
No, I do think he knew it.
I can go another 2.
No, I think he knew it before, but the strategy of today's baseball is not. So you start this guy. That's what you paid him the money for. Okay? Here's where I have an issue. The pitcher hits a ground ball. They score a run because the infield is back. That's on Roberts, right? The next hitter coming up is Springer.
Yes.
Why on earth you let him pitch to Springer? There is no excuse for letting Darvish pitch to Springer. He jacks the 2-run homer and the game's over. But if you really look at it, they didn't beat him up. It was just kind of just what happened.
Well, Dave
All out
Roberts
of fluky.
post game had this to say after his explanation. Knocker, I think it's great. Here we go.
Los Angeles, first time in 29 years, but it stopped one game short. What did you tell your players?
I said, I just don't know what I'm doing managing. I don't know how to manage. I still know how to manage. I do analytics, and I don't take into account anything. I didn't play Kiki at all. I didn't put in Charlie Culberson. They were both hitting great. I should have started the guy who's been with the team longer instead of starting you. But, I got a guy. Yeah, it's awful.
Thank you, Sam Tripoli.
Thanks to Sam Tripoli.
That
That
was
is great.
Hey, Knock, move your camera left a little bit.
Left.
Yeah. No, the other way.
That's right.
Well, I guess, yeah, I'm looking at that. There you go. That's good.
Okay, so yeah, but again, old school, 1970 to 1985.
Yeah.
Kershaw would have pitched that game. Kershaw would have started that game.
Man.
He only went 4 innings. It's not like he pitched 7 innings in his last outing.
I think
he pitched
that Roberts
4 friggin'
really,
innings.
The whole series.
He overmanaged.
He overmanaged. Oh, it just got too
And I hate
cute.
to say that because everybody says they overmanaged.
Right.
But you don't ask Jansen to get 6 outs in 2 different ball games. He
All
panics.
right. Well, congratulations. Astros deserved
the
it.
better team won.
Better team won.
Right?
They were fantastic. That team's going to be together for the next couple of years. They're going to be right back there next year. So,
Well, actually, they're
congratulations.
younger than
and
the
city
Dodgers.
of Houston, you guys, deserve it.
For sure.
After
what the hell you all have been through, for sure.
Congratulations to the Astros. So, lastly, Knocker, before we move on and out of baseball, as we close out here, I want to get to kind of a news segment I call Douchey or Not Douchey.
This ought to be something spectacular. All right, let's do it.
Why? You don't like? Do you
No,
like
I love
the title?
it. I think it's fantastic.
Have a nice day, douchebag!
That's what I like to say. All right,
right,
Knock.
I'm down. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
so at the end of the game last night, Astros Carlos Correa decided to celebrate the World Series by proposing to his girlfriend, Knocker.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this last night after the game live on Fox. And B-Knock, douchey or not douchey? For Carlos Correa to propose to his girlfriend. Here's the video. We'll play the sound for you guys.
You've dreamed of this your whole life, this feeling. Is it everything you thought it would be?
It's everything and more, man. It's everything and more. It's one of the biggest steps of my life, one of the biggest accomplishments of my life. And right now I'm about to take another big step in my life. Daniela Rodriguez, you make me the happiest man in the world. Will you marry me? Will you marry me?
All right, B-Knock. So she ended up saying...
That's a former
yes.
Miss Texas USA.
Okay, yes. Okay, that is also the point. Yes, I agree. But douchey or not douchey?
I don't think it's decent. I'm a
How is
romantic.
that not douchey?
I'm a romantic. I think it's cool,
But
man.
if I'm the chick, okay, I'm going to play the
Right.
devil's advocate. If I'm the chick here, you decide to ask to propose to me on a day that's supposed to be your day.
Right.
This is the World Series
This
day.
is how we're starting our life. I'm
But
sharing
isn't the
everything,
proposal
even
day
the biggest
supposed
thing
to
in
be
my
about
life.
The woman, like it's like you got to make it all fancy. Go out to the rock on the beach.
She
or
just got
something.
proposed to in front of millions of people after Game 7 of the
But
World
isn't
Series,
that kind of
man.
like putting it up on the big board and saying,
No,
"Will you
no,
marry
no.
me?"
That's douchey.
Oh, that's douchey.
That's douchey.
So this isn't douchey.
No,
though.
this guy thought about it and wanted to make her feel extremely special. Look at her reaction. Did she think it was douchey?
Okay.
Look at her reaction.
She's pretty damn happy.
And dude, he got sexed up
Oh, dude,
last night. You
Miss
know he
Texas,
got
dude.
sexed up last night.
Miss Texas, that dude. Yes.
So no, I don't think that's douchey. I don't. I could see where you might construe it that way, but I'm a romantic. You know, I'm a romantic. I write your mother poetry.
Okay, so-
I write her songs.
That's true. You do right. You are kind of douchey.
No,
Yes, that is douchey.
I'm just not afraid to show her how I feel.
Listeners, if you write your wife or your girlfriend a song or a poem, is that douchey? Because I want to know. 'Cause
Okay.
if it's not, maybe I should be doing it. I don't know.
Why don't you ask your wife?
I know. She would hate it if I sang to her. She would hate it.
No, she wouldn't.
I don't know. If
She would
might.
love the effort, and
You
she'd be
think
all
so?
over it. Oh God, yes.
Maybe we should pull that out one
God,
night,
yes.
You know?
If you pull the macho out and just expose yourself
I
a little
thought
bit.
that shit only works in movies.
Oh no. I'm here to tell you.
You're here to tell me.
I'm here to tell you.
Oh, right. Wow, it does work. Okay.
It works,
So we'll
man.
settle the fact that douchey if you propose on the scoreboard, but if
Yes,
you win the World
that's
Series,
extra douchey.
but if you win the World Series, it's
Yeah.
not douchey.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. I think it was cool, man.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll leave it at that. Let us know if you think it's douchey or not for
Okay,
Carlos
well,
Correa.
let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
How many women walking the face of the earth have been proposed to at the end of Game 7 live on the field?
She is the first.
One.
There's the first.
If that don't make you special, what does?
That's a true story. I
Right-
agree with
right?
that. Right? You can always play that card.
Sure.
God, did he get laid last
Oh, he got hammered sex
Jesus,
last
Here we
night.
go. Let's break it down, baby. NFL, let's roll into it.
Both of them are limping this morning. I can tell
man,
you
what?
that.
Like they rode a horse in. All right. And as we close out baseball, we are back halfway through the NFL season. Tucker.
You know what's douchey?
What? What's douchey? What other douchey thing?
Putting the ring in food. Like you go to a restaurant and you hide it in
Put
the
it in
cake.
the fucking
or
chocolate
you
cake.
hide it in the ice cream or something.
Yeah.
That's douchey, man.
She's got to put it on. Like, you're
right?
selling cake.
Just, you know,
Yeah, I'm with that.
put some thought into this. Me, I'm one to talk, man.
I wanted to talk to my wife.
I had one of the lamest proposals ever.
Me too.
Ever.
Me too. But hey, it worked. Good fuck. It worked.
Thus, I write poetry and songs for her.
Exactly. You're fucking little scholar over here writing songs.
Thank
All right,
you, Courtney,
Knocker.
for that, by the way. Courtney Thompson.
Oh yeah, he did write that song for you. I think. We played
No,
it
he
on
wrote
the-
it.
We
He
played it on
did
this
the
show,
music.
didn't we?
We did, and we will play it again.
Yeah, we played it on the show. All right, Knock. Let's get into the news from around the NFL.
All right.
Oh, we have Cam calling in right now. Cam the man.
Uh-oh.
He's early today. Let's see. Let's bring him in here.
Hello.
Cam,
Hello, Cam. What's up?
what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just sitting. I was watching a little NBA before I left. Nice little NBA action. Now that baseball's over and I don't ever have to watch that sport again, I'm very happy about that.
Come
You're so
on, Cam.
bitter, man.
If you couldn't get into this World Series, I mean, really, I understand people who don't like baseball, but if you couldn't just, as just a sports fan, just kind of get sucked into this and the tension and what baseball's all about, you really must just really hate the sport because even the average fan had to get sucked in.
Here's the difference. I like the World Series. The World Series was great. The playoffs were good. It takes you 200 games to get there. I'm not going to watch that shit.
I don't blame you. The regular season's a waste of time. They should go to 140 games, and the World Series should be over by October 10th. I agree with you.
So that's my point of why baseball it sucks because the sport is slow within itself within one game, and I have to watch 800 games just to get to the finale.
Well, no,
Like
you
a
don't
movie
have
that
you don't have
never
to
ends.
watch any of them. Just watch the damn World Series.
is great, man. But hey, man, you hear? I'm sure you've
Yeah, but
heard.
when you work in sports,
Right, that's what I was
you
gonna
have-
say. Well, you kinda have
use
to.
that game baseball.
Yeah, I agree. Well, now we are on football, and we had horrible news come down a few hours ago
Oh, my
about Texans
God.
quarterback Deshaun Watson tearing his ACL. Knocker. He's going to have surgery here. Going to be out for the rest of the year. Man, he lit it up last week. 4 touchdowns, 402 yards against Seattle in that just awesome game last week. They end up losing on the last play here. Knocker, they've already lost J.J. Watt, Whitney Mercilus, and now they lose their quarterback. Houston Texans, obviously we know how this is going to affect them. Are they now out of the playoffs?
You asking me or Cam?
I'm asking both of you. You go ahead first, Ed.
I don't think they're out of the playoffs just because of the division that they're in. I still think they have enough offensive weapons to retool and not nearly be as explosive, but score enough points in that division. Even if they go 8-8, 9-7, they've got a pretty damn good shot at making the playoffs as a division winner. Can they go far in the playoffs without Watson? I do not think so, but I think they have enough defense. And I think they can retool their offense to not make enough mistakes to lose a majority of their games.
They're
which puts
three.
them in
They're
the playoffs.
3-4 right now, Knocker. And you look at a Jags team that looks a little bit better, a Titans team that's maybe figuring things out a little bit. Cam, where do you sit on Texans, man? We know this injury is going to kill them. I don't see them having a chance at the playoffs now.
I don't think they can make the playoffs either without a quarterback, only because of all the moves they made. Remember, you got to combine this with the fact that they traded their left tackle. I know he didn't play in very many games, and he held out for most of the season. But in 30-something snaps, there was 6 sacks recorded on Tom Savage the last time he started, so that's not good. J.J. Watt's out. Sean Watson's out. I think the Jags are going to win that division, and I probably think the Titans might sneak into some wild card now, and probably the Bills. And then you still got the Raiders, so I definitely think they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and
now.
you mentioned that offensive line, and you talk about a trade that they just had with one of their key offensive line players, Dwayne Brown, getting sent over to the Seahawks after he didn't like Bob McNair, the owner's comments about his racially insensitive comments he made regarding that basically the prisoners don't run the asylum or something to that nature. He was asked to be traded. He was traded. I think it's a huge move for the Seahawks. I think it really helps kind of solidify their offensive line a little bit for Russell Wilson. I think this is going to hurt the Texans overall. I think it hurts them going forward. And like you said, Cam, their offensive line's not going to give Savage or anybody that they throw back their time to make any plays. I think this hurts DeAndre Hopkins' value as far as fantasy goes as well. It's just a huge blow to the Texans, and I think it's going to take them out of the playoff picture, Knocker. Now, a news that came down that you shouldn't be surprised about. We knew this was coming. I don't know why the Colts decided to play this kind of games with the media and with the fans here. The Colts placed Andrew Luck's shoulder on injured reserve, going to miss the remainder of the season. Like we didn't know that before.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand why they had to hold it out this long.
Because they want people in the stands and they want people to have hope, which keeps them coming to the games. If you do this in the preseason and they know that you're not going to win, they're not showing up. Yeah, it's all about money.
It is all about money. Now, going in, you're going to get 2 injured quarterbacks here. Now, we're going to have I think that the Colts play the Texans coming up this weekend too, which is going to be interesting. So, moving on here, Ezekiel Elliott's suspension not reinstated. He's going to be out 6 weeks going forward. Cowboys face the Chiefs coming up. Looks like Alfred Morris is going to be the starting back for the Cowboys. Cam, I'm going to go to you on this. How much does this affect the Cowboys going forward? We know they have one of probably the toughest schedule in the NFL. Is this going to hinder them as much as we all think it is, or is that offensive line good enough to make pretty much any running back they throw in there pretty decent going forward?
I mean, as it affects the running game, it's probably going to hurt a lot just because Zeke does catch balls out of the backfield. He's a good blocker. He does everything. They'll be able to scrape by with running back-wise. Like, it'll be adequate, but it won't be great. They have a tough part of their schedule coming up. I know they have to play the Eagles twice. They have to play the Chiefs, some other playoff teams. I really think now going forward, I think the Cowboys are probably going to be 8-8.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you too, man. I think it hurts them pretty bad.
Based on gut.
Yeah, they've got a tough schedule coming up here, Knocker. I actually think, as much as I'm a Cowboys fan, it's going to be really hard for them to make the playoffs this year, Knocker, especially with the way the Eagles are going. They've got some tough games. If they could get by 3-3 here at this next 6-game stretch, I'll be happy with the Cowboys as they finish out the season a little easier than they're going to start here, Knocker.
I think the biggest place it's going to hurt, and Cam touched on it, Zeke's a really good pass blocker. He's very good at picking up blitzes and helping buy an extra half second for Dak. I think another issue here is now that Elliott's gone and Dez is starting to act up in his selfish ways again, if he doesn't calm down, well, he's whining and crying on the sidelines again and just – distraction.
Can't get separation like he used to. He's not a premier wide receiver. He needs to.
We're not throwing you the ball every time, bro.
I agree.
Just, calm down, and the
Bryce
team
Butler.
is winning. Yeah. Calm the hell down. It just bothers me. So I think those two things. If the locker room starts to get unsettled again, I think Daz has, and I think Dak did a really good job in talking to him, calming him down, and what I think he's really good at that.
Yeah.
But I think. Maybe not the first game, but I think 2 or 3 games into this, you're really going to start to feel that Zeke is gone.
Yeah, well, we got a big trades going on in the NFL, Knocker, as well as the NFL trade deadline.
Yeah.
You never see this in the NFL. I mean, some big names.
This is the most trades I've ever seen.
The biggest name being Jimmy Garoppolo getting traded to the 49ers here, Knocker, for a second-round pick. Jimmy Garoppolo, we thought this guy was going to be the next face of the franchise for the New England Patriots here, Knocker. And with I thought at least maybe get a first round for him. They were talking, last year if they trade him, they get a lot more for him. I think this is a steal for the 49ers. They know what they're getting. He sat behind Brady. He's learned. He's almost like a veteran rookie at this point, Knocker, when you get him, because he's mentally, I think, prepared to be a starting quarterback. We've seen what he can do. I think the 49ers really got a good deal in this situation, Knocker. Only giving up a second-round pick. They still got a bunch of picks coming up in this draft. I think it was a steal for the Niners, and I think this says emphatically that Brady and Belichick are going out at the same time. What do you think? Knock.
Okay. I have 2 words to say. Matt Castle. Okay. I really want to see what happens. Matt Castle went to a pretty good Chiefs team and didn't make it happen there. Garoppolo, yeah, he played well for New England. Okay. He played well. I think they kept him. I don't know if he's a free agent, but he's close to free agency, isn't he?
Who, Garoppolo?
If I'm not
he
mistaken.
was going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
Exactly. So, they weren't willing, as the Patriots are such to do. They're not paying anybody that kind of money that he's going to ask. They're just not. So a second-round pick from the 49ers is basically a late first-round pick.
Yeah, no, you're going to get the 34th pick in the draft, basically.
Right. Now, is Garoppolo a savior for the 49ers? It's still the 49ers.
I'd have him over Josh Rosen.
I would, too. I would, too, because he's played in so many games. But I'm on the wait and see. Okay, he played very well in New England.
I'm not saying that he's the savior and he's the next Tom Brady or the next Joe Montana. All I'm saying is that they got a great deal.
The 49ers got a nice player.
Cam, what do you think, man?
In which you have a low risk, high reward type of situation for Jimmy G. I really do like him as a quarterback. If there's any guy who's going to get the most out of him, it's going to be Shanahan. Look at what he did with Matt Ryan last year. I would definitely say that going forward, you got to test him out in 8 games. If not, your record's going to be bad enough to where you can either try to draft a quarterback again and then figure out your situation with Garoppolo. But trading a second round, as a Broncos fan, I know we busted on the last 5 or 6 second round picks we've had. So I think it, like you said, it's a great deal. They know what they're going to get. But San Francisco needs a lot of pieces going forward. I wouldn't be surprised. Howard made a good point today. If they have Jimmy G and they feel confident about him, trading out of their top 5 picks and grabbing more picks.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised about them doing that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that, Cam. I think they have a lot of wiggle room, a lot of things that they can do in this. I think the 49ers are just trending in the right direction.
Sure they are. Yeah,
and
this is definitely a good move
smart
for them.
Move.
Absolutely.
Knocker, just a couple other moves, big moves from around the league here. We had the Bills, again, make another trade. They made a couple moves earlier in the year. Now they went up and picked up Kelvin Benjamin, wide receiver from the Panthers. He was Cam's basically go-to guy. And if rumors have it here, Knocker, the Panthers traded Kelvin Benjamin because of that reason. Cam was so stuck on throwing him the ball.
Wow.
He wasn't spreading the ball around. From sources say that's one of the reasons that Kelvin Benjamin's on his way to Buffalo. I think this is a great trade for the Bills. They already say he's going to be their slot receiver here, move right in. I think he's a big target for that offense, and I like what the Bills are doing right now, Knocker. I think they are a legitimate playoff team. I think this helps them make that offense just that much better.
Oh yeah, I think they're definitely a legitimate playoff team. If the Patriots aren't there, they win the division. They're playing very good football right now. They've made some very good offseason moves. They got rid of some trash, and this pickup is great. I'm kind of curious about. They traded him because he was the guy's favorite receiver. I've never kind of heard that before. That's
that
pretty
he wouldn't get
interesting.
off him. I
understand what you. Trust me, I understand what you said.
Yeah.
But for someone to come out and say that's why we traded him, so Cam will move the ball around more, that's kind of like saying, well, we're just going to trade our best receiver, so he'll throw to our other crappier receivers more.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It just doesn't make sense.
It was weird. Cam, did you hear that at all? I heard that from a couple shows today I was listening to. Did you hear anything about that?
I did not specifically. I heard a little bit about it, but I don't know. The problem is there's all these rumors flying around right now. You don't really know what to believe just because, there's some front offices that are trying to justify their trades. Like you guys definitely said, I definitely think this makes the Bills better going forward. I don't know what the Panthers are doing. They didn't even get a good pick for him.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I don't know what the Panthers are doing right now. I think that they're kind of in a situation where they're stuck with Cam and his, his immature ways, and they really are hamstringed here as far as, trying to get him. They basically got to talk him through media press conferences now. They almost got to babysit this kid that's supposed to be the head of the franchise, Knocker. It's just, I think they're in a real rough situation, and I don't know what they're doing. Lastly here, Knocker, a couple trades. Philadelphia Eagles going all in for the Super Bowl, Knocker. We know they lost Jason Peters, huge offensive lineman for them, their Pro Bowler, but they went up and picked up Jay Ajayi from the Miami Dolphins here, Knocker, to probably solidify that run game with LeGarrette Blount. It looks like they're ready to go into that cold part of the NFL where it's ground and pound, Knocker. You run the football, it's cold, it's Philly. I want that other back that can go pound. Both with Ajayi now and LeGarrette Blount. I love what they're doing there in Philly. I like Carson Wentz. I think they're a playoff team. I think they're going to win the NFC East, and I like what this move is by the Eagles, man.
Absolutely. You think he's not, whoever he was praying to, you think he's not thanking and selling his soul to whoever it was? I'm out of Miami and I'm playing in Philly right now.
Right. My God.
Fantastic move. Fantastic move.
Awesome
I think the league dictates that you have to have 2, maybe even 3 running backs to get through the season and get into the playoffs, because the old workhorse 35 carries a game isn't happening anymore. I don't know what kind of pass catcher he is, but I do know he's a serviceable running back, a durable back.
It's a great move by the Eagles, just adding better players, kind of taking the Patriots mantra. Cam, I'm going to come to you in a second here, but real quick, Browns fail once again, Knocker. In some way they fail. They went out and tried to get A.J. McCarron, the backup for the Cincinnati Bengals, Knocker, and somehow they shat all over their face, and this didn't go through. Whether an email wasn't sent the last minute, something happened. Cam, the Browns shit the bed as only the Browns can, didn't they?
Yeah, this is one of the worst moves I've ever seen in not only just NFL or Cleveland, like in sports. Like the fact that you made a trade, you were celebrating it, the other team called it in, and you didn't. So that's the most retarded thing I've ever heard of.
I thought you were going to do it. I thought you were going to do it.
So ridiculous.
It's so Cleveland.
It's so Cleveland, man. All right. Hey, Cam, can you stick on through the break? We're going to get to Pick'ems. I know you're in traffic and not doing anything, so you want to stick around for Pick'ems?
Hell yeah.
All right, man. All right, I'm going to put you on hold here real quick. We'll bring Cam back for Pick'ems, as him and Knocker like to go back on the spreads here, so we'll have a good contest coming up after the break, Knocker. When we get back, we are going to get in again, like I said, Pigskin Pick'ems. Going to get into my little bit of power rankings. I'll run through those real quick. I got the best comments. Everyone said I got it finally right, Knocker. So week 9. It only took me 9 weeks, and I think I got it right.
Well, Shot of the week. Play out.
Shot of the week coming up. I got a lot of shots and shits to give out this week. Drunk of the week. I got 3 of them, Knocker. We got a woman pissing, a Miami Dolphins woman that decided to go into the men's bathroom because the line was too long.
Good for her.
Are you good for her?
I don't care.
Would you not care if you were in a urinal and some chick just came up?
I don't care. Hell no. I don't care. No, now if it's my wife, I got a problem with it, but
right?
I don't care. She gotta go. She gotta go.
She gotta go. She gotta go.
She had more balls than half the guys in that fucking bathroom.
Man, all right, we'll get to our Pick'ems. Cam, we're back with us. Stick with us when we get back after this.